The Gopal Tapaniya Upanishad, presented by Svayam Prakash Sharma. Part 2. The second part consists of the first 47 verses of chapter 2, in which the sage Durvasa tells the gopis about Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Upanishad. Once, when the gopis of Vraj had passed an entire night in the company of the cowherd boy Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they asked him, "Sir, to what Brahmin should charity be given?" Krishna replied, "Charity should be given to the sage Durvasa." The gopis then asked, "But how will we cross the Yamuna's waters and approach him, from whom great blessings will come to us?" Krishna told them, "Say the words, Krishna, the Brahmachari, and the Yamuna will give you a path. By remembering me, a shallow person becomes deep. By remembering me, an impious person becomes pious. By remembering me, an impure person becomes pure. By remembering me, a person full of material desires becomes desireless. By remembering me, a fool becomes learned." After hearing these words, the gopis meditated on Durvasa, and saying the words that Krishna had told them, they crossed the Yamuna. They then went to the very sacred ashram and bowed down before Durvasa Muni, the best of sages. They gave to the sage the delicious foods made of milk and ghee, which they had brought with them. The sage was pleased. He bathed, he ate the food they had brought. He then blessed them and gave them permission to go. The gopis then asked the sage, "But sir, how will we cross the Yamuna?" The sage replied, "Meditate on me as a sage that eats only durva grass, and the Yamuna will give you a path." Among the gopis was Radha, who was the best among them. The other gopis accepted Radha as their leader. They became silent and allowed Radha to ask questions of the sage. Radha reflected on what the sage had said and then asked, "Sir, how is Krishna a brahmachari? How are you a sage, a person that eats only durva grass?" Durvasa Muni replied, "Sound is contained within the element of ether, although sound and ether are different. Sound is contained within ether. This ether does not know. I am spirit or Atma. Since I am spirit or Atma, then how can I be an enjoyer of materialistic things? Touch is contained within the element of air, although touch and air are different. Touch is contained within air. This the air does not know. I am spirit or Atma. Then how can I be a materialistic enjoyer? Form is contained within the element of fire, although form and fire are different. Form is contained within fire. This fire does not know I am spirit or Atma. Then how can I be a materialistic enjoyer? Taste is contained within the element of water, although taste and water are different. Taste is contained within water. This water does not know I am spirit or Atma. Then how can I be a materialistic enjoyer? Aroma is contained within the element of earth, though aroma and earth are different. Aroma is contained within earth. This earth does not know. I am spirit, I am Atma. And since I am the Atma, then how can I be a materialistic enjoyer? Remember, it is the mind that remains among the senses and accepts them. When spirit, when Atma is everything, then how does one think? Where does one go? I am spirit, I am Atma. So, how can I be a materialistic enjoyer? Know this, that the one you know as your beloved Krishna, he is in fact the original creator of the two kinds of bodies. On the tree of the body, there are two birds. One bird is an enjoyer, and the other bird is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a witness. Of the two birds, one is an enjoyer and the other is a non-enjoyer. The first bird enjoys. The second bird is Krishna, the non-enjoyer, the witness. In him, who is God, we do not find material so-called knowledge and ignorance. This ignorance and real knowledge are different. Then how can Krishna, who is full of real knowledge, become a materialistic enjoyer? Remember this, the person who lusts after pleasure, he is lusty, while the person who does not lust after pleasures is not lusty. Krishna, who is free from birth and death, Krishna, who is unchanging, who cannot be cut, who stays by the Yamuna, who stays among the Surabhi cows, who protects the Surabhi cows, who stays among the cowherd boys, who stays in all the Vedas, who is glorified by all the Vedas, who has entered all living entities and who controls all living entities, that Krishna is your husband. Then Radha asked the sage, Sir, but why has the Supreme Personality of Godhead taken birth among us as a cowherd boy? O sage, how do you know all this about Krishna? What is his mantra? What is his abode? Why has he taken birth in Devaki's womb? Who is his elder brother Balaram? How is he worshipped? Why has the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is far, far above the world of matter, descended to this earth? Sage Durvasa replied, in the beginning, only Lord Narayan existed. In Narayan are woven the material worlds, as thread is woven on a loom. From his lotus heart, Brahma was born. Brahma performed severe austerities. Pleased, Lord Narayan granted a boon. Brahma chose a question as his boon. Lord Narayan granted this request of Brahma. Then Brahma asked his question. He asked, Lord, among your many incarnations, which incarnation is the best? Which is the incarnation that makes humans and devas happy? Which is the one incarnation remembering whom people become liberated from repeated birth and death? And why is this incarnation the best? Lord Narayan replied, just as on the summit of Mount Meru, there are 7 cities that fulfill all desires. In the same way on earth also, there are 7 cities that fulfill all desires and that grant liberation. Among these cities, the city of Gopalpuri is directly the spiritual world. In this city, the desires of the devas and of all other creatures are fulfilled, and everyone attains liberation. Protected by my chakra, this city of Mathura, Gopalpuri, stands in this world as a lotus stands in a lake. Gopalpuri contains 12 forests. One is the great forest of Brihadvan. Two is the forest of Madhuvan, the former residence of the demon Madhu. Three is the forest of Talvan, full of palm trees. Four is the delightful Kamyavan. Five is the great Bahulvan. Six is Kumudvan, full of lotus flowers and water lilies. Seven is the forest of Khadirvan, full of Khadir trees. Eight is the forest of Bhadravan, the favorite spot of Lord Balram. Nine is Bhandirvan, the great forest of banyan trees. 10 is Shrivan, the abode of the goddess of fortune. 11 is Lohvan, the former residence of the demon Loh. And 12 is Vrindavan, ruled by the goddess Vrinda Devi. In these forests, the devas, human beings, Gandharvas, Nags, and Kinnars all sing and dance. The 12 Adityas, the 11 Rudras, the 8 Vasus, the 7 sages, Brahma, Narad, the 5 Vinayaks, Vireshwar, Rudreshwar, Ambikeshwar, Ganeshwar, Neelkanteshwar, Vishveshwar, Gopaleshwar, Bhadreshwar, and 24 other lingas reside there. These forests are divided into two groups. One is known as Krishnavan or Krishna's forests, and the second is known as Bhadravan or Balram's forests. Among these 12 forests, some are sacred and some are most sacred. There the devas stay. There the perfect beings attained liberation. In this place, there is a deity of Ram, there is a deity of Pradyumna, there is a deity of Aniruddha, and there is a deity of Krishna. In this way, there are 12 deities in the forest of Mathura. The Rudras worship the first deity, Brahma worships the second deity, the sons of Brahma worship the third deity, the Maruts worship the fourth deity, the Vinayaks worship the fifth deity, the Vasus worship the sixth deity, the sages worship the seventh deity, the Gandharvas worship the eighth deity, the Apsaras worship the ninth deity, the 10th deity is now invisible. The 11th deity has gone to his own planet, and the 12th deity is now on the earth. Those who worship this 12th deity, they surpass death and attain liberation. They cross beyond the threefold miseries of birth, of old age, and of death. Yes, they cross beyond the threefold miseries of birth, of old age, and death. This concludes the second part of the Gopal Tapaniya Upanishad. Om Shanti, 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 Om.